अब मैं इसके अंदर आएगा हमारे पास पहला क्वेश्चन। उन्होंने हमसे पूछा हुआ है कि हाउ वी कैन राइट अ पैकेट फॉर द प्रोसीजर हाउ टू मेजर द मास वॉल्यूम। हमने सबसे पहले कैलकुलेट करना है। तो वॉल्यूम हमारे पास क्या होता है? इन ऑर्डर टू फाइंड आउट द वॉल्यूम वी गो फॉर कि हम फाइनल वॉल्यूम कैलकुलेट करेंगे। We'll subtract it from the initial volume. Always remember, whenever we're finding the volume of an of a irregular shaped object, before putting that object, the volume will be considered as the initial volume. Okay? No matter what, how many object is placed into the measuring cylinder, the only thing we need to keep in our mind is, okay, before putting the object whose volume is to be measured is considered the initial volume, and after putting the object, it's considered the final volume. In the following diagram, हम लोगों ने volume of the wood calculate करना था. We could see from this diagram. Let me clear this out and write it down again. It's not clearing out. Anyhow, you could see it from your book. Okay, it's 47 and 67. Always go for the lower meniscus whenever measuring the volume. And also, what else do we need to keep in our mind? कि हमारा perpendicular view होना चाहिए for measuring the volume of the object. So final volume is 67, initial volume is 47. We'll subtract these two and we'll get the volume around 20 बन जाएगा or 30. What will be the volume of it?
20.
15?
Wait, shouldn't it be 65 minus 50?
47 की वैल्यू बन रही है अगर आप उसको गौर से देखें, एंड 65 ये बन रहा है हमारे पास. इफ आई enlarge it, this is 65 and reading is above it, तो 66 and 67. ठीक है. And this is 40, this is 45, 46 and 47 and 47 पे आके टच करिए लाइन हमारे पास, तो 47 ये फाइनल माइनस इनिशियल. मुझे अब ये बताएं 67 माइनस 47 कितना होता है?
23.
67 minus 47 is 20. So the final volume would be 20. Now, is it clear how to find the volume of the irregular shaped object? And this method is known as displacement. Okay. To find the volume of an irregular shaped object, the method is known as displacement method. What else do we need to keep in our mind while measuring the volume? That cylinder, mining cylinder, I mean, should be 3 to 4 times bigger than object. ठीक है. तो बाकी दो पॉइंट्स हमने डिस्कस कर ही लिए. ऑलवेज लुक फॉर द लोअर मेनिस्कस एंड परपेंडिकुलर बीम. एम आई क्लियर? कैन वी गो टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन?
Okay.
Next is to find the thickness of one sheet of paper. We know that whenever a dimension is given, first is known as length, base and height. Okay. हम लोगों ने क्या पढ़ा है? To find the thickness of one sheet of paper, which formula do we use? Total height divided by number of sheets. Total height कितना बन रहा है? As per this data, 50 millimeter divided by 500. तो क्या आंसर आ जाएगा हमारे पास? 0.1 मिली. अब उसने बोला what is the volume of the stack of sheet of paper? We know that when we multiply all these, we get the volume of regular shaped object. So length into base into height. सेंटीमीटर्स में उसने करने को बोला है सारों को. पहली क्वांटिटी क्या है? 0.297 meters. When we move the decimal forward, we get a negative power. So this would become 29.7 into 10 raised to power minus 2 meters. And minus 2 is known as centi. This would be 29.7 centimeter. Second quantity is already in centimeter. I will not convert it. And third quantity is 50 millimeter. Now always keep this in your mind. Whenever we go from millimeter to centimeter, we move the decimal backward. ठीक है? 1 decimal backward चले जाते हैं. And opposite happens for the other. अगर ये 50 centimeter होता, तो it would have been equals to 500 millimeter. Do you get this point? How to quickly convert from centimeter to millimeter and millimeter to centimeter? सेंटीमीटर मिलीमीटर सेंटीमीटर जाएंगे, डेसिमल कहाँ मूव करेंगे? बैकवर्ड्स. ठीक है. और सेंटीमीटर टू मिलीमीटर जाना है, डेसिमल कहाँ मूव करेंगे? फॉरवर्ड. Can you memorize this? Can you keep this in your mind while doing these questions?
Okay.
Opposite occurs for positive power. अब if we want to increase the positive power, तो हम डेसिमल को बैकवर्ड मूव करेंगे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, I want to go from 100 kilometer to, it's very absurd unit, but mega meters में चलना चाहना है, which means 10 to the power of 3 to 10 to the power of 6. मेगा जॉल लिख देते हैं, किलो जॉल से मेगा जॉल्स में जाना है ताकि स्टूपिड ना लगे यूनिट. किलो जॉल्स टू मेगा जॉल्स जा रहे हैं. दैट इज 10 to the power of 3 to 10 to the power of 6. मैंने अभी आपको क्या रूल बताया, क्या रूल हमने फॉलो करना है? डेसिमल को बैकवर्ड मूव करना है. कितना डेसिमल बैकवर्ड मूव करोगे? जितनी पावर चेंज करनी है. कितनी पावर चेंज करनी है? यहां से देखो, हाउ मच पावर डू आई नीड टू चेंज? आई हैव टू गो फ्रॉम 3 to 6, तो मुझे 3 पावर चेंज करनी है. मैं कितने डेसिमल्स बैकवर्ड जाऊंगा? 3 decimals backward जाऊंगा. So this would be 0.1 megajoules. And opposite occurs for the other one. कि अगर हमें from bigger units to smaller units जाना है, that is 10 to the power of 6, 10 to the power of 3. ठीक है. So हम opposite करेंगे. For example, 25 megajoules था, हमें किलो जॉल्स में जाना है. तो how many decimals do I have to move forward? Again difference कितना आ रहा है? 3 का. तो 3 decimals में मूव करूंगा. So this would be equals to 25,000 kilojoules की इक्वल. ठीक है. So negative and positive power को कैसे increase and decrease करना है? Do you get it?
Can you explain it again?
Which part? Decimal movement backward and forward नहीं समझ में आ रहा. तो ऐसा पॉइंट ज़हन में रखना और कुछ भी नहीं मिले. Nothing to worry about. Similarly, अगर हम 10 to the power of 3 से 10 to the power of 6 में जा रहे हैं, तो हमने डेसिमल को क्या करना है? बैकवर्ड मूव करना है. जितनी पावर हम मूव कर रहे हैं, 3 to 6 जाना है हमें. कितना डिफरेंस आ रहा है? 3 का, which means we'll move 3 decimals backward. Similarly, अगर 6 to 3 जाना है, अगेन डिफरेंस कितना बन रहा है? 3. तो हम 3 decimals फॉरवर्ड मूव कर देंगे. So 25 क्या बन गया? 25,000, because I moved 3 decimals forward. 100 kilojoules, 0.1 megajoule बन गया, because I moved 3 decimals backward. Okay?
Okay.
अब हमने वॉल्यूम मेजर करना था. वॉल्यूम सबको मल्टीप्लाई कर देंगे. तो when all of this will be multiplied, this all will be multiplied, तो हमारे पास आंसर आ जाएगा 318 0.6 centimeter cube. Can I go to the next one?
Okay.
नेक्स्ट उसने पूछा हुआ है, उसने हमें मास दिया हुआ है, उसने हमें कहा गिव द डायमेंशंस ऑफ द ब्रिक इन मीटर्स। 65 मिलीमीटर मीटर्स में किसकी इक्वल होगा? और वी कैन ऑल्सो राइट इट एज 0.065 मीटर। 10 टू द पावर ऑफ -3 का मतलब क्या है? मुझे डेसिमल्स कितने मूव करने हैं? 3 डेसिमल्स बैकवर्ड जाना है, बिकॉज 65 इंटू 10⁻³ का मतलब क्या होता है? 65 डिवाइडेड बाय 1000। तो ये ठीक हो गया। सिमिलरली नेक्स्ट वाज 102.5 मिलीमीटर, तो वो क्या हो जाएगा? 102.5 इंटू 10⁻³ मीटर्स। सिमिलरली 215 मिलीमीटर किसके इक्वल हो जाएगा? 215 इंटू 10⁻³ मीटर्स। डू यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट कैसे मिलीमीटर से मीटर्स में जाना है? ये सबसे इजीएस्ट वे होता है कि अगर आपने प्रीफिक्स से बेस यूनिट में जाना है, आप सिंपली प्रीफिक्स की वैल्यू पुट कर दो, बिकॉज यहाँ पे सब में मिलीमीटर था, मैंने सबकी जगह पे -3 पुट कर दिया। ओके, अब नेक्स्ट पार्ट में वो वॉल्यूम कैलकुलेट करने को बोल रहा है। हाउ कैन वी फाइंड आउट द वॉल्यूम ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट? जल्दी से बताएं, हाउ कैन वी फाइंड आउट द वॉल्यूम? सॉरी, यस, हम इन तीनों क्वांटिटीज को आपस में क्या कर देंगे? मल्टीप्लाई। तो 65 into 10⁻³ multiplied by 102.5 into 10⁻³ into 215 into 10⁻³। इसका आंसर आ जाएगा हमारे पास 1.43 into 10⁻³ मीटर क्यूब। ओके, लास्ट में उसे डेंसिटी कैलकुलेट करने को बोला। डेंसिटी किसके इक्वल होता है? मास ओवर वॉल्यूम के। मास की वैल्यू क्या है? 2.5, यही थी ना? नहीं, 2.8, and volume came out to be 1.43 into 10⁻³ This would give us an answer of 1955 kilograms per meter cube. Answers check कर लेना बेटे जल्दी से, ये मैंने क्लास में करवाया था, so I have the answers, that's why I'm writing it down like this. क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 है, इसको आप गौर से देखिएगा।
Wait, give me a minute. I'll be back.
Last question. They have said that there are 35 matches of a total mass of 6.77. The box itself has a mass of 3.37 grams. We need to calculate the mass of one match. सबसे पहले हम मैच बॉक्स के मास में से टोटल मास को क्या कर लेंगे? माइनस। This would give us an answer of 3.4 grams. Now, this 3.4 gram is the mass of 35 matches, and we need to calculate the mass of one match. So 3.5 divided by 35 would give an answer of 9.7 into 10⁻⁻² grams. अब उससे बोला है वॉल्यूम फाइंड आउट करना है इन सेंटीमीटर क्यूब। 42 मिलीमीटर would be equals to 4.2 centimeter. 2.3 millimeter equals to 0.23 centimeter, and similarly next is also that, so this would be 0.23 centimeter. इन सबको मल्टीप्लाई कर देंगे and we would get an answer of 0.22 centimeter cube. Density is given as mass over volume. Mass came out to be 9.7 into 10⁻⁻² divided by 0.22. This would give us 0.44 grams per centimeter cube. अब उसने कहा है will how know if these matches will float, because उसकी density जो है it's very less, so obviously less dense जो. Okay. Question number 5, they have given us the mass, they have given us the radius, they have given us the formula to find out the volume, and they have asked us to find the density. The formula for density is mass over volume. Mass is already in its base unit. I have to convert this into their base unit. So 64 kilometer is equal to 10 to the power of 3, right? If I move this here, so I will have 64, 6.4 into 10 to the power 3. This 10 to the power of 3 is already there. Okay, let's just forget that. When I move the decimal 3 points backward, I will get a positive 3 power. Okay, now we know that power gets added together. So total power कितना बन जाएगा? 6.4 into 10 to the power 6 meter. Are we clear about this part?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's put the value of a radius into this formula, which is the volume 4 by 3 pi r cube. R is 6.4 into 10 raised to power 3 cube. This would give us an answer of 1.09 into 10 raised to power 21 meter cube. We'll put this here. Mass is already into their base unit, 6 into 10 raised to power 24 divided by 1.09 into 10 raised to power 21. This would give us the answer of 5.5 into 10 raised to power 3 kilograms per meter cube. Okay.
Can you do it again?
It's right in front of you. How many drying pins do we have? We have 40 drying pins and 40 drying pins have the mass of 17.55 grams. What is the volume of one pin if the density of the metal is 8.7 grams per centimeter cube? The very first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to find out the mass of one pin. How I'm going to find the mass of one pin? What step should I take? How will I find the mass?
For one pin?
Sorry?
You do add the mass of all 40 together. Or wait, no, you put the mass of one pin and then
How can I find the mass of one
multiply
pin?
by-
उसने already हमें कितने pins का mass दिया हुआ है? 17.55 is the mass of 40 pins. So I'll divide it with 40. ठीक है? So 17.55 divided by 40 will give me a mass of.
You find the volume?
No, पहले तो हम single pin का mass तो find out कर लेना, then we'll move to volume. Okay? 17.55 divided by 40 will give us 0.43 grams. Density कितना है उसने हमें क्वेश्चन में दिया हुआ है? 8.7 grams per centimeter cube. And this is the density of single pin. Okay? फॉर्मूला क्या होता है डेंसिटी का? इट्स मास ओवर वॉल्यूम. उसने क्वेश्चन में हमें क्या कैलकुलेट करने को बोला हुआ है? We need to calculate the volume of the object. To rearrange the formula, we'll have mass over density. So, what is the mass of one pin? It's 0.43, which we found out by dividing it with 40. And what is the density of one pin? It's 8.7. So the volume will come out to be 0.05 centimeter cube. Okay.
Okay.
And they have asked us to find out the answer in millimeter cube. So हम इसको क्या कर देंगे? 3 points forward move कर देंगे. So it would be 50 millimeter cube. Centimeter cube is 0.05 because we have done this multiple times. That 0.05 centimeter. Millimeters में कितना होगा? 0.5 millimeter.
Sorry. Wait, my mom's turning off the internet for a second.
Sorry. 21 individual rings bent into a coil. The height of the brass is 12 centimeter and its average circumference is 40 centimeter. Neck rings are usually आगे उसने theory उसके लिखा हुआ है. First part they have asked what looked like 21 individual rings around the girl's neck is actually 21 turns of coil of brass. Each turn has a circumference of 40 centimeter. Total length कितना बनेगा? So हम कैसे करेंगे? If one has the circumference of 40 centimeter, कितने rings है हमारे पास total? 21. So I'll multiply it with 21 to get the total length of it. So 21 times 40 is 840 centimeter. यानी अगर हम इस ring को इस पूरे ring को I straighten up and get the length of it, so this would be 840 centimeter. Okay.
Can you do it?
Sorry.
Can you explain it again?
अरे उन्होंने बोला हुआ ना कि एक रिंग का सर्कमफ्रेंस कितना है. They have said 40 circumference है. कितने टर्न्स है हमारे पास? 21. उसने कहा टोटल लेंथ फाइंड आउट करो. ऑब्वियसली जब मैं इस रिंग को ओपन करूंगा वो स्ट्रेट लेंथ में आएगा. ठीक है. When I open this up it will be a straight length. How many rings do I have? 21. तो मैं एक लेंथ if it's 40 centimeter in circumference तो टोटल लेंथ कितना होगा? I need to multiply 21 with the 40. Okay.
Okay.
That is, yeah, if you could see in this diagram, this one here, उसने कहा कि ये जो rings हैं, each ring has a circumference of 40. Okay, how many rings there are? 21 in number. So उसने कहा कि what would be the total length of this section? So I multiplied it with 21. ठीक है? So when I will open this ring, the total length will come out to be 840 centimeter. Okay. Or still confusing?
I don't understand.
Which part, beta? Do you see the rings around the neck? Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Do you see the rings around the neck?
Yeah. Wait, you
They
just
have said
multiplied the circumference by
with the total number of rings. With the total number of rings. To find out the total length of this brass wire.
Okay.
अभी तो वो टर्न में है ना, कॉइल शेप में है. उसने कहा कि व्हाट इफ आई ओपन इट अप तो उसकी टोटल लेंथ कितना बनेगा. सो इन ऑर्डर टू कैलकुलेट दैट मैंने ईच सर्कमफ्रेंस को मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया आपस में. 40 times 21 gives the length of 840 centimeter. This would be the total length of it. Okay.
Okay.
Should we go to the next part? अब circumference क्या होता है? This hole is considered as the circumference, right?
Okay.
Which means the diameter. सबसे पहले हम लोगों ने उसने बोला है कि टोटल हाइट कितना उसने दिया हुआ है हम लोगों को. टोटल हाइट उसने दिया हुआ है हमें यहां से यहां तक, from here up till here as 12 centimeter. How many turns do I have? 21. तो हमें एक रिंग की थिकनेस को फाइंड आउट करना है. दैट इज ओनली दिस पार्ट कि कितना ये थिक बन रहा है. ओके. इन ऑर्डर टू फाइंड दैट हमने जैसे वो 500 शीट्स वाला किया था ना, थिकनेस ऑफ वन शीट कैसे फाइंड आउट करते थे? हाउ डू वी फाइंड द थिकनेस ऑफ वन शीट?
You
हरी अप
divided it
मरियम.
by you divided it by the
500. ठीक है। सो यहाँ पे उन्होंने टोटल हाइट कितना दिया हुआ है 12 सेंटीमीटर एंड टोटल नंबर ऑफ रिंग्स कितने 21. सो आई डिवाइड 12 विद 20. दिस वुड गिव मी अ वैल्यू ऑफ 0.57 centimeter. This is the diameter. I need to find out the radius. So radius कैसे find out करते हैं? Radius is equals to diameter divided by 2. Radius is 0.57 divided by 2 would give us me an answer of 0.2. If I further zoom in like this, हमने basically क्या किया है? जो ये थिकनेस है ना, मैं एक सेकंड कुछ चीजें रेस कर लेता हूँ. So that we calculated this by dividing it with 21. This is the diameter. मुझे रेडियस कैलकुलेट करना था. तो रेडियस किसके इक्वल होता है 10 डिवाइडेड बाय 2. डायमीटर केम आउट टू बी 0.57. तो अब मेरे पास रेडियस इसका क्या आ गया 0.29 सेंटीमीटर. ओके.
Okay.
अच्छा जी. नेक्स्ट पार्ट में उससे बोला वी नीड टू कैलकुलेट द वॉल्यूम. सब उसने हमें दिया हुआ है, हमने सिर्फ वैल्यूज पुट करने हैं. आर वॉज 0.29 स्क्वायर एंड टोटल हाइट कितना था हमारे पास. So the volume would come out to be this part here. K. Volume formula was given in the question. V is equals to pi r square h. R was calculated in the previous part as 0.29 and straightened out height was 840. So after multiplying this, we get a volume of 221. In the last part, they have asked us to find out the mass in kilograms. For that, we need to go for the density and mass formula. By rearranging, we have mass equals to density into volume. Density is given as 8.7 and volume we just calculated as 220. By multiplying it, we get 1929 grams. They asked us to find out the volume, mass in kilograms. So I'll divide it with 1000. It come out to be 1.9 kilograms rounded off 2 kilograms per 2 kilo. Then उन्होंने next question में उन्होंने बोला हुआ हम लोगों को कि a high speed video can record sporting event at a frame of 60 frames per second. What is the time interval between one frame and the other? क्या formula use करेंगे? 1 divided by 60. तो आंसर क्या आ जाएगा हमारे पास? Why I divided 1 with 60, not 60 divided by 1?
What?
Why I divided
Why'd you
1 with
divide 1 by
60, not
60?
60 divided by 1? Hmm? Clearly, अगर हम 1 divided by 60 करेंगे तो units would come out to be in seconds, because frame per second is a second would go in the numerator and will have a unit of second, and time has a unit of seconds. That's why I divided 1 with
But
60.
like if we do 60 by 1, would that be wrong?
Yes, तो हमारे पास unit क्या आएगा 1 over second, and time has a unit of second only, not 1 over second. 1 over second किसका unit होता है? Frequency का, if you recall that. Okay.
Okay.
So this would give an answer of 16.7 milli. It finished from -3 है, तो I would write it as 16.7 millisecond. Next में हमें ratio find out करना है. उसने कहा if we can see 24 frames per second as a continuous motion, by what factor can the action recorded at 60 frames per second be slowed down and still look continuous? तो हमें इनकी ratio find out करना है. किसको किसे divide करेंगे? 24 with 60 or 60 with 24? If I want to take the ratio
Would
of
you
it.
do 24 by 60?
I have to slow down 60 frames to 24 frames. So किसको किससे divide करेंगे?
Oh, 60 by 24.
ठीक है? Because I have to reduce this to this by what factor कि वो 24 frame per seconds के accordingly continuous motion तक show करें. So I'll divide 60 with 24. This would give me a factor of 2.5. Okay?
Okay.
Next में से time period calculate करने को बोला है. How do we calculate the time period? How do we calculate the time period, Mariam?
What did you have the one oscillation divided by
Time divided by number of oscillations. ठीक है? So time is 18. Number of oscillation is given as 20. So I'll divide 18 with 20. So 18 with 20, 25.1 with 20, 28.3 with 20, 39, so forth, up till 47.9 could be divided by क्या करेंगे? 20. ठीक है? So we'll get an answer of 0 divided by 20 would give us a 0 answer. 18.1 divided by 20 rounded off would give us 0.905. This would give us 1.255. This would give 1.615. This would give 1.770. This would give 40.5 divided by 20 would give me 2.025 seconds. This would give me 2.220 and this will give me 2.395. 44.4 divided by 20 and 47.9. What do you see as increasing the length? Time पे क्या effect आ रहा है? How is it affecting the time?
It's decreasing.
Do you see a decreasing time?
Oh,
Are you even looking at the values?
yeah. It's increasing.
That shows that the relationship that we have discussed, time का क्या होता है? 2 pi under root L over G. From this, we conclude that time has a relationship with the under root of length. And it's clear from this data that as we have increased the length, the time period has also increased, validating our equation. Okay. Next is to draw the graph. That question could only be done if you could use this data of length and time and draw me a graph and then we can discuss this further. Okay?
And draw a graph for this table.
Using length and the time. Yes.
Okay.